Yeah. We're here with Richard Coleman, aka AKON, known in Angola prison. You know what I mean? We're doing a backup video for a lot of questions y'all had. You know, a lot of y'all asked what he did 40 years for, so we're gonna start off with that. You know, and I'm gonna let him speak instead of me because I ain't know the whole story.
All right. First thing we got to realize is that who run the system? You know, some black folks think black people do, some white folks think white folks do. Well, in all actuality, the people with money run the system. Everybody a pawn, I was a pawn. I was in a situation where that altercation took place between a bunch of inmates. One died because they was trying to connect me with another criminal activity. I was implicated, and some black dudes came up and testified that I participated in the crime, and the white boy got killed and all that. And so I done 40 years. However, 40 years later, this particular white judge, who was really, really tough, looked at my case, my argument, my claim, and decided that I should be given some type of relief. So he let me go. But the condition was that I had to plead guilty to say that I was actually guilty to get out, so I couldn't follow up with a lawsuit. That's the name of the game. But who gives a hell about a lawsuit? I mean, I done 40 years in prison. How in the hell can they figure enough money to pay me to make up for 40 years? It's not going to happen. There's a lot of guys getting out now that have 35, 40 years, and a lot of people complaining about it. Black people complaining about it, white people complaining about it. But the truth of the matter is, a man can only heal himself within himself. One of the situations we talking about healing himself within himself, when we talking about inter-institutional relationships and activity where other prisoners get to mingle and understand each other. You know, this warden named Ross Mazzio, in the early 80s, he made a statement when they asked him about how he was qualifying people to be wardens in his institution. It's not a requirement, but it's a good idea that if you had a degree in penology, then you would qualify to be a warden. You understand what was going on. His thing was that a warden who came out of a classroom to qualify to stand over a prisoner could not stand up to any one prisoner that he had in the prison. And so his thing was that when I got 5,000 penology experts back here now, if I want to know something, I can ask a prisoner and he can tell me a better answer than a warden that has a degree in penology because he went to college. So it's what we call hands-on activity in understanding that. Now, in the same vein, we have some bullshit-ass prisoners that done, got out through the same little vein and vine. And it's come to a time that we need to start addressing that. We got thousands of podcasts where these dudes are coming, okay, but this happened in prison, this happened in prison. And a lot of that is good, but all they're doing is chopping on other prisoners. Well, what about the administrative part of the prison? The guards that brought in the weapons, the drugs, and the cell phones, and whatever else you want. They don't talk about that. Why? They don't have the testicular fortitude. I'll talk about it. I'm not going to call them clowns names because they're not going to do nothing about it. They're stupid, but just the idea that we don't want to dig up no bones that's already been buried. So, one of the main things we got to understand is this, that there's two sides to every story, and then there's a middle part. Now, what we're dealing with the two sides to every story is that this guy's going to present it from the angle that he saw it from, this guy's going to present it from the angle that he saw it from, then the guy in the middle is going to simply tell the truth. That's why nobody likes the middleman and nothing. It's kind of like, keep the middleman out of the mix and we'll be all right. Well, in my particular case, the activity took place. I started. I initiated everything that took place. I started the first fight and all that. And we was all drunk. We was drinking squeezed Old Spice stick deodorant. You know, you squeeze it in a t-shirt, you get a white liquid out of it, you get a glass. It's alcohol. We drink it.
Wait, y'all was drinking deodorant?
Yeah, Old
Like
Spice.
deodorant we put under our arms?
Yeah, Old Spice stick deodorant.
And how y'all made that?
It's alcohol in it. All you do, you take it and you put it in a t-shirt and you squeeze it. Twist the shirt till you get it tight, 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 tight. And what happens, the liquid begin to come out of the wax. The liquid is, in fact, alcohol. And so we took this alcohol.
That's my first time hearing that.
Hey, I know it's the first time for a lot of people hearing that, but that's the truth of the matter.
Right.
And that coupled with the marijuana that different guards that brought in and snuck into us for X amount of money. So we smoking marijuana and we drinking Old Spice stick deodorant. So basically we drunk and we loaded. We just acting crazy. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. You know, I just love to fight. That was my thing, you know. My record's probably like 101 to 1. You can check. Matter of fact, I still can find. I'm 65 years old. You want to check my record? I still see.
Your record of what? Like street fights in there? Or,
yeah, street fights. Yeah, I boxed.
Boxing matches or what?
Well, yeah, I boxed in prison too. I was light heavyweight champ. I was middleweight champ. I was light middleweight champ. I did a lot of fighting. I taught a lot of dudes, and that's kind of one of the things that kind of pissed me off right now about a lot of dudes that I taught, not only how to fight, but how to be responsible and productive citizens and return to society.
And this in what prison?
Angola, Louisiana State Penitentiary in Angola, Louisiana.
Right.
It was really tough if you're a citizen. If you in there, it's not all that tough. It's just whether or not you got the testicular fortitude to tell a dude, hey man, look, fuck off, you know, you want to do something. Because, you know, dudes had the impression that Bad Billy was better than everybody else. And my mindset was that Bad Billy ain't never whooped me before. Bad Billy ain't never, I don't give a damn what Bad Billy done before to somebody else.
Right.
When he deal with me, we going to change the outcome. And so that's one of the ideas about Angola and its toughness. It's not really tough at all. You have to be a man that can think, and that's the results you see in the day. All these dudes that's getting their pardon signed at them 35, 40 years, they're not getting pardoned because they done 35 or 40 years. They're getting pardoned because they developed mentally, spiritually, socially. They was able to convince the board that works for the government to tell the government that this man deserved to be free. In some cases, some of them dudes don't really need to be out. Now, you might think that, you know, you want to shit on me for saying that, but I mean, you know, we got to face reality. In the case of Williams, that he got out like a week later. He went down Lake Charles and killed a dude, shot on some bad information. We knew he was not ready to get out. We had the opportunity as fellow offenders to say, well, this dude needs to go. No. Your conduct where you are is going to portray your conduct wherever you're going to go. So it's not all that hard to understand. Nevertheless, you're in a situation where people are being released now that deserve to be gone. Some of those same people that deserve to be gone, they're doing some things that they shouldn't be doing, like these podcasts. You know, they're talking about shit that they don't really know about, that they're not really involved in. In the case of some of these great legendary inmates we had, Badass Bootsy one of the Neville brothers' sons, Vince Marinello, the world famous sportscaster out of New Orleans. You know, a lot of these dudes was in there doing different things, and they got dudes claiming that they intermingled and associated with these dudes, and that's not true. They got dudes that claim, oh, I did certain things because I really wanted to get out. I was really focused. A lot of that's bullshit. Man.
You want to say some names?
Yeah. Not necessarily because, you know.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with putting, because
No.
the world, we all need to know, because
Yeah, well.
it's a lot of fake stuff going, and everybody want to get out of prison and be the head honcho. You
True.
know what I mean?
True.
Sometimes ain't nothing wrong with exposing the truth. You know what I'm saying? Not to hurt nobody's feelings, but
That's true.
the truth is the truth. You know?
That's true. But at the same time, I don't want to squash these niggas' artificial integrity about who they really are. What they need to do is just shut their damn mouth instead of telling the people all these old fictitious stories. A lot of dudes all, well, this inmate here was this inmate. Well, tell some of the shit these free people done. How they brought weapons in for dudes to kill other dudes. How they brought drugs in for dudes to take over other dudes' minds. Free people done a lot of stuff that was weird, that was crazy, but they don't talk about that, and it's a well-known fact. Matter of fact, they had a free man that loved homosexuals. So he would target the incoming inmate that he thought that he was in love with, and he would send word down the walk, and these other inmates would position that inmate for him and get him back to that free man to be seduced. Could you believe some shit like that? But it's true. I'm not the only testimony. If it comes to that point, there are some people that can testify to that. But the reason I don't want to call these dudes names, because see, a lot of these dudes are stupid. And see, if they got to call themselves riding down on me and they miss, it's they bad. Because, I ain't going to miss. I ain't ducking and hiding all. I'm going to walk in your mama's house and blow your brains out of you fucking me, baby. So, I don't want to get caught up in that because I know what their testicular fortitude is. Or what? They not who they say that they are.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's really not, how can I say it? Like, it's really not bad saying their names, but, like, we need to, us as people, we need to know who the frauds is out here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, true.
Because a lot of people look at these cats and, like, oh, this, I done did 9,000, 10,000 days, and a lot of people think these people about, about what they came out talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
and in actuality, they speaking another man's life, or it wasn't about what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true. That's true.
I don't think I don't think it's gonna hurt for you to say their names. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's not gonna hurt.
I know I'm putting the pressure on you.
No, it's not gonna be their name because they're not gonna rock with me. That's why I can say their name. That's why I know their name. I know who they are, what they are, and why they are. Take for instance, you got a lot of guys out here in society now. They preachers, they pastors, they running programs in different states, in Mississippi and New York, and they don't never mention my name. But the fact of the matter is that because of me, that's why they doing what they doing. Because I kept a nigga from making them out of little girls and stuff like that. Because I had the testicular fortitude to stand up and tell a dude, say, man, look, don't mess with this dude. This dude is in my program. And dude like, well, he not from around the house. I don't give a damn where you from. My thing was this. If you come into the system, it's what you call apprehensive. You wondering what's going to possibly go down, and that frame of nervousness puts you in a bad position. So my thing was, get a dude 2 weeks to settle into the population, get the feel of the place, and if you want to try him, go try him. Because if he a coward, he's going to be a coward, but we want to get the apprehensiveness out of the way.
Right.
Yeah, I had a simple little formula. It worked. It was bullshit, but it worked. I would meet a dude, and I kind of would put a little judgment on. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to help him. I bring him a knife. Say, look, take this out. Yeah. What's that deal? This is a knife. The hell you think you can't see what it is? What I'm gonna do with that? What you gonna do with that? You're gonna keep that. If you need it, use it. If you bring it back to me, it got to have blood on it. I don't want it. I told a bunch of them dudes that they're out there preaching and teaching right now, but they don't have the testicular fortitude or the fucking man about themselves to stand up and say that. I don't want no credit. I just think that they should at least say one time, all right, the old Richard Coleman, the boxing trainer, pastor that, kind of helped me pull it through. I just want to holler at him. I'm cool. You don't owe me nothing.
Cause you did 40, so I'm pretty. You did 40 years, so I'm pretty sure a lot of these people be doing these podcasts now, especially in my age group. You know, like I know a lot of them then ran through you, or you know what I mean, then seen you in that month.
Yeah.
But what you saying is you get no recollection.
Yeah, a lot of them are much younger than I am. You know, because a lot of them dudes, they came in the system like I'd already been in like 20 years. I did 40 plus, 40 years and 7 months. So the little 20 years they done under me, they were tutored by me. They in different programs. And, I'm not the only dude that too. You got dudes like Savara, Sutton, Shaq. You got Norris, Jennison, dudes like that involved. Just to name a few of them, but there were so many dudes, but they had a positive mindset that they would really try to help dudes progress through the system. And some of these dudes that we help progress through the system, they done forgot that. They don't give a shit. They don't give a damn, like me, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm scheduled for all kind of surgical and all kind of operations. I can't work. Those Negroes that's making that kind of money where they could reach out and say, here, man, here's a little $1,000, take this kind of boost you along, thank you, for who I am. No, they don't do that. So what we have right now, we had a program in the prison that was ran by some positive dudes, Weldon Williams, if I could call all of them names, Weldon Williams, Savara Sutton, Willie Campbell, Shaheed, the Muslim brother, we had a program that was effective for dudes to come into the program and earn a GED. And it was just simple. They started with me, and my thing was this: look, check this out. We're going to give you 6 weeks to improve your score, your reading, your writing, and everything, and then we're going to move you next door. We was in the building. You started on my end. When you got to the other end, you was ready to get your GED. So it was simple. If you didn't show any progress in 6 months, your ass was going back to the field and pick cotton, corn, or whatever was going on, whatever you was going to do. You're not going to hold the chain up.
So what was you doing before you got to that level? How long it took you to get to that level? Where you were teaching and, doing training and all that. How long was you in there before you got to that level?
Well, basically, I went in with it. I was already educated. I didn't have the little paper GED, but I knew how to read and write backwards.
Right.
I was not a dummy. I excelled in school, Washington High, Marion. So I knew what I was doing. So I went into the system. They gave me opportunity to go to school. 6 months later, I was GED qualified, and so the instructor called me and said, look, man, I'm going to get you a job in the kitchen because you did something that nobody else did. Everybody comes into the school program and play dumb so they don't have to go back out and pick cotton. You came in, you took care of your business, you're finna graduate, you don't care about picking cotton, so I'm going to get you a job.
So how long you initially had before you went in with 40 years or you just, what amount of time you initially had when you first went in?
I was actually doing 5 years for parole, probation violation. And then when the incident took place in the parish jail, where I got charged with second-degree murder with some more clowns, I wound up with the second-degree murder, then I had a life sentence.
So you went from 5 to 40?
Yeah, I went from
5 to life.
To life, right. Of course, the life I had at the time was a mandatory 40 years before eligibility to be released. You had to do 40 years.
Right.
So technically, at the end of my 40 years, I was going to be eligible to go on the board anyway. But it so happened that this lawyer that I was able to hook up with was able to move me straight out the door without going through all that other foolishness.
Oh, okay. You ran across any family members in there?
Yes. Tragically, I had 2 brothers come through the system while I was in there. One of them is now dead. My second to the youngest brother named Donald. He came through the system. And then Wedges, the one they call Hobo, who is currently out now, he came through the system. And I think the most difficult thing with having to do with that was that being there already, I had to set a positive image for him. I had to direct him on the right path. You know, a lot of dudes he met that knew me were like, "Oh, all right, well you Coleman brother, all right, you know," and so they kind of looked at him and treated him a little bit better.
Just off your name, right?
Yeah, not because I was a bad nigga, but because I was a fair nigga.
Right,
you know,
right.
I helped people, I gave, I reached, I pulled, I hired, I did what I could do. And so when he finally got around me, I had to get him focused. You know, I made sure he went to school and I made sure he got a trade.
Right.
He was not happy about it, but you know, that's the only way I was gonna tell. I wasn't gonna have no other bullshit. You know, you're gonna be productive. You're gonna make the time do something for you. Then I taught him how to become a championship boxer. He boxed and he became a champion. Of course, I'm the greatest boxing story about DOC, period. You know,
so you saying you the greatest boxer who ever came through Angola?
Not as a boxer, but as a boxing mind, because I was able to move people from one level to the next level so fast that the historical event is that they have 9 boxing titles in the amateur weight division. In one night, I prepared a team and we won all 9 championships. That had never been done in the
So
history.
you was the best, basically you were the best in-prison trainer.
Right. You know, the mediator, the overseer, the manager.
Yeah.
And, you know, I made all that happen. So, in that aspect, yes. You know, even now, I could help somebody make $1 million if they got the testicular fortitude to put some gloves on. You know, most nuclear dudes right out here now, they want to shoot somebody.
Right.
You know, and you know, that's one
Cowards.
of the things with this joke that this comedian tells. I can't remember his name, but he tells a joke about a Mexican, a white boy, and a Negro. And the thing is that if you could ask God a question that he can't ask, he can go to heaven. And the dude got to the question he asked that, when will black people ever be able to get along? A question God couldn't ask.
Right.
So we got to heaven. And, you know, that's kind of where we at now, bro. You know, we kind of stuck in a rut. What's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to utilize the skills you got. Negroes been boxing and basketballing and footballing and baseball and they were out of ghettos forever.
Right.
Most of your great, rich athletes now, that's why they're athletes. Because that's what Negroes are good at.
Yeah, yeah.
Performing a sport that the
Agree.
white man will pay you to do.
Agree.
Hey, it's that simple, but we can't forget where we talking about, where all this come from. They had dudes in prison that had scholarships to go to school and went out and done something stupid before they got graduated and went out with a life sentence. They got implicated in different type of murders and stuff. You know, Willie Plater, Jesse Richardson, Savara Sutton, dudes that were top of the line athletes ready to go to college, but following the crowd.
Right.
Same thing dudes do today. You know, they want to follow the crowd.
I'm just gonna throw old boy from the Patriots, Aaron Hernandez in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
he was
Hernandez.
rich in the NFL and crashed out. You know, like
yeah, he was
you know,
still
that's
hooked
just
to
an
his
example.
past.
Yeah, just an example.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something else. Like the dude Kevin Falk, out of New Orleans. There's a lot of dudes in prison doing. The honey badger.
Yeah.
Me and his daddy was super cool.
Right.
A lot of dudes knew him.
Oh, the honey badger daddy was in there?
Yeah. He just
If y'all know the honey badger, you talk about Tyrann Matthew.
Yeah, played for
LSU.
Kansas City and all that.
I think he's on the Saints now.
Yeah, you know, his daddy was a beast. But, you know, the kid made the right decision. Tyler Perry. They got dudes knew Tyler Perry like the back of their hand. And not only Tyler Perry, the dude, what the DA name was that did all the dirty shit, the white boy, his son played jazz music. Most of y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
His son was a jazz musician. He came to the concert at Angola, and they had more Negroes shaking hands with this dude and laughing. What's happening to man? We know that boy. You know the DA's son. Yeah, the musicians, yeah, for being in the hood. So the opportunity has been there for everybody. But then when they wind up where they were, this is the situation what we're trying to deal with right now. Can you be for real? Stop telling these fictitious ass stories and tell the truth so these little dudes behind us that's listening and thinking they gangsters and all that shit there that they not. And try to change their life and go in a different direction, but they don't have to wind up in Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola or Hunts or DC. It doesn't matter where you go now, they clowning.
Since you ain't gonna say no names, I ain't gonna say no names either.
Why
But I think I should say some names because the world want to know. You know, like, I watch this stuff. You know, I watch all these podcasts and things, you know.
Well, eventually I will.
I see these cats, a lot of these cats come from Angola, and they have the time you did, but all of them have a story about they was this and they was that.
Yeah.
You know, and from what you're telling me, it ain't adding up. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
It don't add
Their
up.
story's not adding up to the truth.
It don't add up. It can't add up because it's not the truth. And, you know, the thing is, because nobody never comes out and say, look, the man just talking shit. You know, he was not built like that. He didn't go through that. You know, they do what they want to do to get to what they're going to call their level of success. But the truth of the matter is that they are full of bullshit.
But what is success without the truth? Basically, that's like selling your soul, really. Like,
Well, it's just like in politics.
anybody can lie, and you know.
Yeah.
That's why I be saying, like, say a name, like, I don't care who name, but like, let it be known, whoever, like, point one of them up, you know what I mean? Point somebody out, like, man, they lying.
Yeah.
We want to know. The world want to know.
I understand that. I did 40 years. I'm 65. I don't want to kill one of these niggas, man.
No, you ain't got to kill them, but it ain't going to hurt to.
They try to fake like they
it's not going to hurt to point a faker out.
No, man.
You know, because there's young kids out here probably looking up to these cats, and they not about what they talking about.
Well, that's another thing.
You know, like, y'all, that's called misleading.
That's true, but that's another thing about it. They not really being followed by anybody because they're not talking about nothing.
Right.
You know, oh, I did this, I did that, this happened, that happened. You know, the idea of how to direct or redirect a person or a young person in the direction in which he needs to go, he needs to be fully aware of the facts dealing with the situations that he's trying to encounter. Once he do that, then he can become better. But, you know, as far as him just hearing a dude saying, okay, I done X amount of years and this happened and that happened and that happened and half of the shit that this happened and that happened is a lie. But nobody never stands up and say, well, you know, no, that's, you know, that's fictitious. Because one thing you got to remember, and if you listening to this podcast right now, I want you to listen very, very close to what I'm going to tell you. You get the name of a dude that's telling you what he did in prison. You get his name. You can go online on the database, DOC database. His information still in there, and find out everything he did from the first day he walked to the gate to the day that he walked out. Then you know he lied, then you know he full of shit. That's your right. You can learn what you want to know about any individual that's incarcerated right now. All you need is their name.
So
go on the database.
Do you know the Eric B guy?
Yeah.
Okay, he talk a lot of, like, he ran a lot of stuff. Can you elaborate on him or how you met him or anything like that?
Yes, Eric B. He was exceptionally talented and educated. He was a little bitty dude. And the thing about being a little bitty dude is that if you show a little bit of heart, then you know you will get the backing of a woman because that's what it's all about. If you show you got the testicular fortitude to be who you is and what you're about, then you'll do it.
So how you met him?
I actually met him
Because I see him on one of them podcasts in Dallas all the time. I don't really know, but you know, you my uncle. You just got out, so we heard his story. You know, from what I hear, he ran a lot of stuff, and I mean, this is what he say. You know, like, but I never heard him mention your name. You know, he said he did about 9,000, 10,000 days or something like that.
Okay, yeah, great.
10,000, I don't know, but he ain't did 40. So, like, how you ran across him?
Okay, well, actually, he had a couple other brothers up there.
And we not bashing him or nothing. I just want to know your story. Because a lot of people want to know.
He had a couple other brothers that was already up there before he came into the system that I knew and that I was cool with. Matter of fact, the state murdered one. That's a long, terrible story.
So they killed one of his brothers?
Yeah, he escaped and they caught up with him. Instead of just bringing him back, they shot him down in cold blood and they killed him.
Right.
Then his other brother that was older than that brother, matter of fact, when his brother got killed, when he escaped the prison, he and I was on the very same work detail in the prison hospital. He slipped in and got into the trash truck and got outside the gate, but again, they killed him. And then his other brother, he and I was pretty cool because he was a Muslim. He had a good attitude. He was inmate counsel. So he was somebody I can go to for information dealing with the law, etc., etc. And then, Lil E did show up. And the thing about Lil E was sharp already in his mind. You know, he was a thinker.
Right.
You know, it was a very, very rare chance that somebody could get him in a position where they could take advantage of him because he was smart.
Right.
I wound up becoming his boxing coach a couple of times.
Yeah.
And he had outstanding potentials, to do whatever you want to do as a boxer.
So he did box though?
Yeah.
Was he any good? He was good?
Well, if I train you, you got to be good.
Right. I just never heard him speak on that, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean...
I never heard him speak on that or you know what I mean?
Well, okay, that's probably this, people want to forget certain people. I ain't got no problem with that.
Right.
But the truth of the matter, he was a great boxer. He was very intelligent. He went to the school. He went to the law library with his other brother, Charlie. He learned how to study law, how to fight his own case. And he kind of became like an advocate or a leader in, doing the right thing to try to get yourself out of prison. And, so he had his ups and downs. He went to cell block. He done a little crazy shit. We all done something. I went to the block 3 times while I was in prison.
Well, yeah, that's how you end up getting 40, doing so crazy.
No, but in the parish. But, in the prison, you can get time up in prison, too.
Right.
And, so anyway, and, he fought for his just cause. And then eventually the juvenile awareness programs and all that came along. And he got locked into that, and because of his exceptional intelligence and his ability to relate to the people, he was able to talk with them, and they took his case on, they put up a hell of an effort, and now he's free. But when you're talking about him not mentioning me in particular, or anybody else for the matter, because I listened to him a few times. Matter of fact, about a month ago, he called me and told me to call him, and I just have him in Ava too, because I got a lot of crazy shit going on with myself.
Right, back to the free, bro.
I did 40 years. Some dudes come out and just blend in like nothing ever happened. My mind don't work like that. I ain't got that kind of strength. I'm fucked up right now. Like just seeing a pretty woman like, damn, what's going on with this? So, my adjustment is kind of different from other
Yeah, 40
people.
years, that's a long time. I mean, you want to see shit with prison guards. Shit.
Yeah, you showering naked every night with 40 different dudes. Man, that shit, that you will get sick about that, man.
Right.
I mean, you can't close your eyes. You need to keep your eyes open to make sure.
Hey, you know what? Let's get to this part. Let's get to the. I be seeing this dude on YouTube called a booty bandit or something. Fleece Johnson, the booty bandit.
Fleece Johnson.
And he just talk about how people get dead up, and like you come to prison, you gonna be somebody tramp, or you know what I mean. Like, elaborate on that, because like I just don't believe what he's saying. Like, to me, he just a booty bandit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe you go to prison and you just somebody just turn you out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, elaborate on that.
I can't place who this dude is.
No, he wasn't in Angola. He was in some, I think, on the East Coast or somewhere, or Cali somewhere. But,
Okay, yeah. Well, different prisons.
But I mean, different prisons, different programs. But like, I just.
But still,
To me, he just an entertainer. Like you said earlier, like, you have to lead the kids the right way.
Yeah.
You can't be coming out here making up lies, just trying to make a name. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how was the homosexuality and that's what I say, in Angola. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the fresh inmates or the old inmates.
Well, first of all, it took a time period for you to become sick enough to look at another man and say, "Oh, he's fine." What the hell does a man got to be fine? How the hell that happened? But at a certain period of being incarcerated, in your mind and the stuff you start to hearing,
right,
you might get to where you look at a dude and say, "Oh, he fine," or "he pretty." A man is handsome. A man is never pretty. But in the penitentiary, you kill the handsome part and you make him pretty.
Right.
You make him fine. Well, what qualifies him to be fine? His pants fit a little bit better than everybody else. And so, and that's kind of like a thing that's going on even in society, where a dude walking down the street and a woman coming toward him, the woman passes, he looks back at her butt.
Right.
You're not gonna get the woman butt.
She got her fatty, yeah. She got them honey buns.
Yeah, but that's the mindset that these dudes begin to transfer to other men inside the prison.
Right.
And so you're sick. Technically, you become mentally disturbed that you could look at a man and think and say, "Oh, he's so beautiful, he's so sweet, he's so fine."
If a man have life, if a man in Angola, we just talk about Angola right now. If a man have Angola, well, I really can't answer this question. Ask this question because Boosie C. Murder was getting hound down by the guard, so we want to get him some twat. So basically, I was gonna ask was like, do men get twat in Angola? But I just thought about it and I answered that myself. But you can answer it.
Yeah, well, yes, they had some female guards, or secretaries, or janitors, or whatever they would do. Just like a man attracted to a woman, some of the women were attracted to certain inmates. Some of them were teachers, some of them were classification officers, and they got a chance to get the inmate to get on different schedules, get where they wanted to get them at. And they actually could have sex. As a matter of fact, a couple of dudes and got married to female guards that was up there because they hooked up with them. They had a chance. The guards quit. They got married, and of course they was harassed like hell. But that's all. That has always been and will probably always be because men are attracted to women, and that's just simply how it is, despite what the situation might be.
Vice versa, yeah.
Yeah. But, back to, these dudes loving on dudes or thinking the dude's so beautiful or so fine. Dude say, well, dude was in protective custody because somebody thought he was so fine and beautiful. A lot of that is bullshit. Dudes were in protective custody for a variety of reasons. Not because he was fine and beautiful, but, because, portion of you look at some of these dudes that they talking about, you're like, what's like, the dude Boots. I mean, I don't see nothing feminine at all about him.
Right.
He ain't pretty, he ain't fine, he ain't, you know. But you know, he was in protective custody. Why? That's a bullshit ass lie that the dude tells. Well, oh, because he was scared of dude. Man, you gotta be scared. If one thing that I could tell you is this. That Negro was from Baton Rouge. And if he would have came in the population, every Negro in Baton Rouge would have backed his hand. If a nigga would have messed with him, they would have been dead. Them niggas from Baton Rouge would have killed him.
Right. Yeah, because he caught a lot of flack on that. A lot of people said he checked in, protected of custody and all that stuff.
Yeah, his homeboy.
They say, a lot of people say you don't have, they say you have a choice. But, so what let's say, get on that. Like a lot of people say they got a choice if they want to get on protective custody or not. So do they make them get on protective custody or do they not make them? Yeah,
you don't have a choice. You can request it,
right,
and be granted, but you don't have a choice.
If they what I'm saying is if they say you going in protective custody, you going in protective custody.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, I don't want to go on PC.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, you going because they said it. It ain't no request and ain't no nothing.
Yeah, if the administration called a shot, you ain't running shit.
That's what I mean. That's common sense, you know.
They'll give you $1 million.
A lot of people be like, "Oh, you got a choice to take take it or like."
No, sir.
This is not the jailhouse.
No, sir. You can go online and read the protective custody policy. They're gonna tell you that.
Right.
You is an inmate. They don't give a damn if you're a millionaire. They don't give a damn if you on the top of the line singers in the country. They don't give a damn if you Ramsey Dada, who played for LSU and went pro. He was up there in Angola like everybody else, a regular inmate. Them white folks that we're dealing with it to make you know that you succeed as a Negro in the world, but now you in a different world and we run it, So you get back to being a nigga. We got it from here. So when you're dealing with this protective custody thing, the administration uses that to control the population. Like I say, if Boosie would have went down the wall, he's not crazy. That would have been Baton Rouge would have fucking magnetized and took over the whole prison.
Right. Just off his clout.
Just his clout. Boosie, the nigga got money. He's famous. People know him. And so that's what dudes got to realize. So they said, no, we can't put him in there with them because we know he got the influence.
He can fund everything.
Right. So to kill his influence,
we're
going to put him in this cell block over here, a special protective unit called Camp J. And, don't let me fool when I say special protective unit because they didn't kill niggas back there. Niggas didn't kill niggas back there, throwing shit on them, sticking them through the ball. Ain't nowhere safe for them.
Ain't really no, right. Yeah. Really no protective custody.
It's just,
you know what I mean? It's a name.
Yeah, and so.
In Angola, anyway.
Yeah, and in most other prisons, it's that shit ran by families all over the state of Louisiana, all over the they got family members. The ex-warden Burrow came, when they investigated him, he had like 236 family members scattered all throughout the DOC. Wardens, captains, lieutenants, and he ain't done nothing wrong. If I would have been in that position, I'd have hired my people.
Right.
We would have took over the kingdom too. But, and so that's the situation. And when you get in that, when they calling shots, they're going to call shots. And that's just the bottom line. And if they need to do something that's not going to just protect the integrity or the balance of the institution, but their job status, because the job status is looked at all the way to Washington, D.C., how your prison is running, what kind of violence activity you got. They got all kind of crazy shit they do.
Hey, we going to cut this right now. Hey, y'all tune into the next episode. We're going to talk about Trump freeing all these prisoners, and we're gonna let keep giving y'all some game on the prison life. You know what I'm saying? So y'all tune in to the next time. Shout out 100.
Yeah, gotcha.
Stay humble.